Extension teaching method may be defined as a sequence of progressive steps undertaken to create situations that are conducive to effective learning. The purpose of using an extension teaching method is to create opportunities to establish rapport over a subject matter between the communicator and learners, awaken the interest, achieve comprehension or skills, provide persuasion and even repetition to motivate action on the part of the learners in line with the objectives of the communicator. According to Paul Legan's 1961, extension teaching methods are the devices used to create situations in which communication can take place between the instructor and the learner. The basic objective of extension teaching is to create opportunities for effective learning in order to secure changes in the minds and actions of the learners. For this, extension teaching has evolved. Certain basic and proven methods have been evolved to encourage farm people to accept and adopt improved practices. However, variation in extension audience with regard to age, education level, experience, interest, intensity of need, level of living, values and socio-economic status make the job extension teaching more challenging. As quoted by Ensminger 1975, before an extension can become efficient in the use of methods, he must know what methods are available, when to use a given method and become effective in using each. But practically, no extension worker can have the ability to use all the methods with equal skill. Moreover, no method can be considered as the best for all situations and objectives. No two situations are alike. No one method can reach all the audience. Hence, there is always need for different methods. Behavioral changes required on the part of learners may also acquire several exposures with the same methods, different methods or a combination of methods. Research suggests a combination of methods or a media mix for effective technology transfer. So, after going through the lesson, you will be in a position to know the definition and meaning of extension teaching methods, classify and explain the functions of extension teaching methods, and plan and use the various extension teaching methods, and describe the factors influencing the selection of extension teaching methods. So, before going in depth about the various use of extension methods, let us see the functions of extension teaching methods. First function is to provide communication so that the learner may see, hear and do the things to be learnt. The second function is to provide stimulation that causes the desired mental or physical action on the part of the learner. Third function, to take the learner through one or more steps of the teaching learning process, namely attention, interest, desire, conviction, action and satisfaction. So, these are the three major functions of extension teaching methods. And what are the advantages of extension teaching methods? It stimulates and guides learning activities towards goal, specify desired changes in the behavior of people, assist the clientele to gain an understanding of ideas the agent is trying to impart or sell them. Coming to the limitations, requires lot of time for preparations, problem of individual differences, and not all clientele may be attentive to teaching. So, these are the limitations. Now, let us classify the extension teaching methods. So, there are several methods of classifying the extension teaching methods. One way of classifying the extension teaching methods is according to the use and nature of contact. In other words, whether they are used for contacting people individually, in groups or in masses. Based upon the nature of contact, they are divided into individual, group and mass contact methods. Individual contact methods. These extension methods provide opportunities for face-to-face or person-to-person contact between the rural people and the extension workers. These methods are very effective in teaching new skills. They also create goodwill between farmers and the extension workers. Second, group contact methods. Under this category, the rural people or farmers are contacted in a group. The group consists of usually 20 to 25 persons. These groups are usually formed around a common interest. These methods also involve a face-to-face contact with the people. They also provide an opportunity for the exchange of ideas, for discussions on problems and technical recommendations, and finally for deciding the future course of action. The third one is mass contact methods. An extension worker has to approach a large number of people for disseminating new information and helping them to use it. This can be done through mass contact methods conveniently. These methods are more useful for making people aware of the new agriculture technologies quickly. Now coming to the other classification according to use. Wilson and Gallup 1955 classified extension teaching methods according to the use, that is the individual, group and mass contact methods, and form, that is spoken, written, visual, spoken and visual. And below we can see in the table the classification according to use, which I have already discussed, and the examples which come under individual contact methods are farm and home visits, personal letters, office call, flag method, agri-clinics, result demonstrations. And those methods which fall under group contact methods are group meetings, method demonstrations, study tour, peripatetic team meeting, medium forum, agricultural games, result demonstrations, meetings. And those methods which fall under mass contact methods are broadcast and media like radio, television, then printed media like farm journals, extension pamphlets, bulletins, leaflets, circular letters, folders, and screen media like those involving screen media like slides, film strips, video, movies, and others like exhibition, campaigns and farmers fairs. Now classification according to form. Another way of classifying the extension teaching methods, which is very common in extension publications according to the form, is presented below. So according to form, under written communication, the examples which fall under written communications are bulletin, leaflets, personal letters, circular letters, farm journals. And according to spoken method, the examples which fall under spoken methods are meetings, farm and home visits, office calls, radio and recordings, and agriculture clinics. And those methods which fall under visual methods are result demonstration, exhibits, posters, charts, slides, film strips, flashcards, flannel graphs, bulletin boards. And those methods which fall under spoken and visual are method demonstrations, result demonstrations, televisions, movies, puppets and campaigns. So another way of classifying the extension teaching methods is according to the function which they perform. Under telling, if we want to tell something to the farmers, then the extension teaching method examples are lecture, conference, panel and forum, recordings, farm and home visits. Suppose extension worker is interested in showing something to the farmers, then we have written words, pictures and motion pictures, posters, charts and exhibits, demonstrations, tools. Suppose if we want to teach farmers about how to do something, then we can go for practicals, on the job training, demonstrations, guided experience and performance. The next classification according to the stages of innovation decision process. Some farmers would have initiated their, they would have shown interest, they will develop knowledge, and there are, according to the stages of adoption of innovation, we can use the below mentioned extension teaching methods. Suppose if we want to impart knowledge to the farmers, suppose if the farmers are in the knowledge gaining stage, then we can go in for radio and television, printed matter, posters and wall newspapers and circular letters. Suppose if we want to persuade the farmers, then we can go in for all types of meetings. Then training courses can be offered, method demonstration can be conducted, printed matters. Suppose if the farmers are in a stage of decision process, then we can go in for result demonstration, farm and home visits, office calls and we can make use of their friends and relatives. And in the action stage of adoption, we can go in for result demonstration, personal visits and local leaders. Next, classification according to the stage of learning process. So there are 5 or 6 stages involved in the learning process. In the attention stage, suppose if we want to seek the attention of the farmers, we can go in for all mass contact methods. In the interest stage, we can go in for meetings, tours, demonstrations, appeal to values, personal visits. And in the desire stage, suppose if we are interested to arouse the interest of the desire of the farmers, we can go in for demonstration, circular letters, meetings, and we can make use of the local leaders. In the conviction stage, we can go in for result demonstration, personal visits, friends and relatives. In the action stage, wherein all the farmers will be adopting the technologies, we can make use of news stories and other printed matters, farm and home visits, local leaders. And in the satisfaction stage, where the farmers have been satisfied with the technologies, we can go in for personal contacts, news stories, field days. The next classification, which is made according to the learning objectives. So, depending upon the objective set forth, whether we are the objective of the extension worker is to impart knowledge or to impart skill or to change the attitude of farmers, accordingly we have to select the teaching methods. Suppose our interest is to impart knowledge to the farmers, then we can go in for printed matters, lectures, guided discussions, tour and case studies. Suppose we are interested to impart skill to the client, we can go in for farm and home visit, case studies and supervised practices. Suppose our extension job is to change the attitude of the farmers, we can conduct training courses, demonstrations and give lectures and have some film shows. Next classification of extension teaching methods according to adopter category, and I can cite some examples under each of the adopter categories. There are 5 adopter categories, namely innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority and laggards. So, for each of these categories we have to go in for different extension teaching methods. For the innovators, we have to go in for all mass contact methods and office call. Early adopter stage, it is we can go in for farm and home visits, demonstrations and meetings. For the early majority stage, we can go in for result demonstration, posters, tours and field days and exhibitions and film shows. For the late majority, we can go in for result demonstration, friends and relatives, groups, exhibitions and film shows. Laggards, we can go in for local leaders, friends and relatives or tours. So far we have seen the classification of various extension teaching methods. After knowing the classification, we should know how to plan and use the extension teaching methods. So, the proper understanding of the capabilities and limitations of extension methods is essential for the selection and efficient use. Lack of proper selection and inefficient use leads to the following consequences. The benefit of extension program will not reach as many people as it should have been. Considerable delay in changing the behavior of the people. Many innovations might be rejected by the people. Indifferent response may lead to the frustration of the extension workers. People might lose confidence in the extension program. There will be wastage of resources. Difficulty in the execution of further development work will be faced. So, how should we select the extension teaching methods? So, the selection of appropriate methods is not easy. There is no single thumb rule for selection. In order to get most effective results, the extension worker should select the suitable methods, have a suitable combination of selected methods and use them in proper sequence so as to have repetition in a variety of ways. The following factors should be considered in the selection of extension teaching methods. So, let us see the factors influencing the selection of extension teaching methods. Number 1, the audience. People differ greatly in the knowledge, attitude, skills, their positions in the diffusion process and in the adopted categories, their education level, age, income level, social status, religious belief, etc. These differences influence the teaching approaches. For example, if we select personal visits for illiterates, for highly educated, the written materials have to be selected. Second point influencing the selection of extension teaching methods is size of audience. The number of persons to be contacted will decide the method. For example, the group methods cannot be effectively used for the participant size exceeding 30. Number 3 is teaching objective. The educational changes expected as stated in the teaching objective of the extension program. For example, if you want to change their attitude, we can select the group discussion. If your objective is to change the skills, the method demonstration has to be selected. So, select the methods to meet the specific objectives. Fourth factor is subject matter. The nature of the subject matter will decide the methods. If the subject matter is new, simple technology, it can be conveyed through the news articles, whereas For complex technologies, face-to-face contact or audiovisual aids must be used. Next factor is the state of development of extension organization. If the organization is new, it has to gain the confidence of people. Then the result demonstration can be selected. The well-established organization can use the circular letter. Size of extension staff. The size of staff in relation to the client will also decide the extension method. Larger the number of staff will facilitate to have more direct contacts. Availability of media. The availability of media such as television, film, radio, newspaper, etc. will have the influence on selecting the method. Related cost. The cost involved to the method is also an important consideration in selection and use. Extension workers' familiarity. So this is another important factor. The training of the extension worker for proper handling of the selected method is very essential. The teacher should know his own capabilities while making selection. Next, the needs, problems and technological level of the farmers. The length of time the program has been going in the area and the length of time the extension worker has at his disposal have to be considered. The significance of the program, general local conditions such as seasonal work, weather conditions, availability of meeting places, organizations, leadership. All this will influence the selection of extension teaching methods. Thus, knowledge of behavioral sciences is essential for selection of teaching methods. Since extension focuses first with the learners and then upon the content to be taught. Research study shows that when maximum number of extension techniques is utilized, there is increase in the number of learners' behavioral changes. Coming to use of extension teaching method. Extension teaching methods for getting attention. The pictures related to the subject, demonstrations, news stories, slogans, posters, radio talk, cartoons, displays, exhibits, radio announcement, leaflets, banners, wall painting, headings, tom-tom, public address system, personal contact and awareness campaign can be used. So, other methods useful in developing interest are meeting of various types, film strip and slide lectures, subject matter news items, radio talks, bulletins and pamphlets, tours, result demonstration, video, photographs, charts and personal contact. And the methods useful in creating a desire among the farmers are showing of real objects, showing the operation, circulating suggestions and benefits, before and after pictures, working models, samples and exhibits, sharing experience of benefited farmers, success stories, charts, folders, field trips or study tour. The teaching methods useful for developing confidence are showing demonstrations, field trips per field days, discussion with scientists, study tour, shorting experience of farmers. And those methods useful in ensuring action are reminding circulars, news stories and radio talk about action, personal contacts, group decision making, leader contact campaign, etc. And those methods useful in maintaining the satisfaction of the farmers are personal contacts, continued contacts, news notes, personal mention, showing value of results obtained by others, personal but circular letters, success stories. And coming next to the extension methods used in different stages of adoption process are at the awareness stage. When the farmers have gained awareness about the technology, then we can go in for all printed materials, personal contact, film show, radio, television, posters, digital banners, local leaders, newspapers, mass awareness campaigns, leaflets, banners, tom-tom, circular letters and slides. The interest stage we can go in for contact with the extension workers, meetings, radio talk, leaflets, folders, bulletin and farm journals, film slides, film strips, recorded cassettes, video training and televisions. At the evaluation stage we can go in for demonstration and discussion, cassettes, field trips, printed material, sharing of farmers' experience and field days. At the trial stage wherein the farmers are trying the technology in a smaller area, we can go in for personal contact by extension agents with individual farmers and method and result demonstration. At the adoption stage of among the farmers, we can go in for group discussion, demonstration, field trips, slide shows, self experiences, printed material, training and campaign. Combination of extension teaching methods for effective learning. So let us see about the combination of extension teaching methods. So extension field studies were conducted in USA over a long period. They show that people were influenced by extension education to make changes in behavior in proportion to the number of different teaching methods with which they came into contact. As the number of extension teaching methods used to disseminate information increases from 1 to 9, the number of farm families changing their behavior increases from 3.5% to 98%. Therefore, if widespread response is desired, people must be exposed to teaching methods in several different ways. So, the figures in the table below table shows the percentage of change in their behavior when a combination of methods are used. So, when one extension teaching method is used, there was a change among 3.5% of the people. Two methods use 64%, 5 methods use 86%, and 9 methods use 98%. Now let us see the factors influencing the combination of extension teaching methods. Each extension method has its own merits and demerits. Hence, it is meaningless to ask the questions like which is the best method, but it is sensible to ask what part each method can play in an extension program. Generally, it is recommended to combine different methods purposely. In other words, there is a best method for each purpose or function to be fulfilled. Sometimes different media will be used at the same time. For example, a lecture supported with audiovisual aids. Sometimes they will be used in succession. Written materials are used to prepare farmers for group discussion. The multimedia is important not only to perform each important function in the communication process, but also to perform it through the most suitable medium. Moreover, it is possible to reach a wider audience. Thus, the illiterates can be reached through television and radio and educated through the print. Advertising research has shown that the person who receives the same message through different media will pay more attention because he recognizes something which is already familiar from another context. The value of combining media has been clearly demonstrated in the studies of radio forums. Informative radio program is broadcasted. After the informative radio broadcast, discussion on radio rural forums is held in small groups without the presence of extension worker, and some conclusions are arrived at. The conclusions of the discussions plus the questions for which the group members would like to get answers are sent back to the producer of the radio program. Then the questions are answered partly by letters and partly in the next radio program. By combining mass media with group discussion, the organizer can merge the quick and accurate transmission of the mass media with the influence of group discussions. Combination of mass media and group discussion can be organized in other way as well. A panel of experts on radio can answer questions directly from a discussion group. In this way, the group discussion meeting can be informed through newspaper before he meets. The report can be published subsequently. It is believed that combinations of modern communication technologies such as video, satellite communication, microcomputers, etc., with the rapid developments of group discussion methods have not been explored adequately by many extension surveys, which not only think only of the group and mass communication combinations. The use of audiovisual aids to support talks and group discussion would also thought of. The aids such as blackboard, flip charts, overhead projector, photographs, drawings, graphs, maps, slides, film strips, films, radio, television, videotapes, CDs, DVDs, pen drives, etc. are preferred. DVDs are currently attracting considerable attention. It can be concluded that combination on mass media and group discussions can bring about substantial changes in behavior of well organized extension work. Many audiovisual aids can be used on a similar scale to increase extension effectiveness. Messages presented through different aids must be synchronized carefully so that the target audience is not overloaded with information. Now consider the proper use of extension teaching methods in a proper sequence. To answer our teaching needs, our extension plans of work must include methods that enable our farmers to see, hear and do the thing to be learned, enable us to reach large numbers of people, and to create confidence among the farmers. Our completed plan should provide not only for doing each of these three things, but must be so organized that the completed plan as a unit does all three of these things. Let us consider an example. A personal contact is made through an office call or farm visit. a leader is visited, a demonstration is established, a meeting is held to discuss the demonstration, the meeting is advertised by circular letters, a news story is written on the results of the demonstration as seen at the meeting. These happenings and results are broadcast over the radio. Pictures are taken and a slide story is shown at a meeting. Here, one method helps another. Many of them are used in combination and the sequence to repeat the story. Organized follow-up teaching activity means more improvement in farm and home conditions. To conclude, we can say that we have seen that extension teaching methods are the devices used to create situation in which communication can take place between the instructor and the learner. The basic objective of extension teaching is to create opportunities for effective learning in order to secure changes in the minds and actions of the learners. A proper understanding of the capabilities and limitations of the extension teaching methods is essential for the selection efficient use. Some factors that influence the selection of extension teaching methods have to be kept in mind while using the extension teaching methods.